Ladies and gentlemen, fight fans all around the world, you are watching What You Need.
We continue the series on Forgotten World Champions. We're looking at the year 1997. In that year, in the junior lightweight division, also known as the super featherweight division, we have a number of people who either became world champions or they were former world champions. Number one on the list here is Genaro Hernandez. Genaro Hernandez is known for his association with Oscar De La Hoya, Floyd Mayweather Jr., and Azuma Nelson. He was an undefeated super featherweight for a very long time and WBC world champion. Arturo Gatti, Hall of Famer, was a two-division, two-time world champion. We also know Roberto Garcia, also known as Robert Garcia, the trainer for Marcos Maidana. We also know Angel Manfredi, who always was a top-level contender. And you may also know Jesus Chavez, who became not only super featherweight champion, but also a lightweight world champion. But some of the other names on this list here, you may not know. So the earliest world champion here, we'll start with that person, who happens to be Tracy Harris Patterson, cousin of the great Floyd Patterson. And we'll move all the way to the end and our last world champion, who was Julian Dorsey. Tracy Harris Patterson, he became world champion back in the year 1992, June 23rd, when he beat Thierry Jacob for the WBC World Super Bantamweight title. He would go on to successfully defend this title 4 times before losing to Hector Acero Sanchez in 1994. He would regain the super featherweight title July 9th, 1995 against Eddie Thompson, only to lose it in a few months' time, December 15th, 1995 against Arturo Gatti. Tracy Harris Patterson, therefore, was a 2-time world champion at super featherweight. Tom Johnson won his world title 1 year after Tracy Harris Patterson won his world title. Though unsuccessful in 1991 against Manuel Medina, in his second attempt at the world title against Manuel Medina in 1993, he was able to beat him by split decision to get the IBF World Featherweight title. He would go on to defend this title successfully 11 times. He would finally lose to Nassim Hamed in a unification bout with the IBF and WBO titles. He would also face notable names such as Junior Jones, Jesus Chavez, and Jorge Paez, losing to all of them later on in his career. Gabriel Ruiz was unsuccessful in winning the WBC World Super Featherweight title from Azuma Nelson in 1993. But in his second attempt against Jesse James Leija, who was undefeated and world champion at the time, in 1994, he was able to get a unanimous decision win over him. He would defend his title successfully 2 times before facing Azuma Nelson and succumbing to him, being knocked out in the 5th round. Jung Soo Choi won the vacant WBA super featherweight title from Victor Hugo Paz in 1995, 1 year after Gabriel Ruiz won his world title. He would go on to defend that title successfully 7 times before succumbing to Takanori Hatakeyama in Japan 3 years after he won the world title. Robert Garcia. In 1997, he was simply a world contender, but he got his shot the following year, 1998, against Harold Warren. He won the vacant IBF World Super Featherweight title. He would go on to defend the title successfully against John Molina. He would lose to Diego Corrales by knockout in the 7th round. He also faced other great fighters like Ben Taki and Joel Casamayor. Finally, Julian Dorsey was unsuccessful in several attempts to get the super featherweight title. He drew with Arnulfo Castillo twice, lost to Anatoly Alexandrov, but finally won the WBA World Lightweight title in 1999. He immediately lost it to Stefano Zoff, but then had another shot at the lightweight title, fighting against Takanori Hatakeyama in 2001, winning the WBA World Lightweight title, but immediately losing it in the next match to Raul Horacio Balbi. So these are some of the world champions or world champions to be who are not as well known as Genaro Hernandez, Arturo Gatti, Angel Manfredi, and Jesus Chavez. You guys have a great one.